Dearborn Regional Sewer District order. Chris?
Alright. First on the agenda is going to be the approval of the meeting minutes from the March 10th meeting. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I do have a question about those minutes.
Sure.
You weren't even there.
It's about the trees.
I know, but so the trees are dead, not bringing up the trees, well, they are dead. The dead trees are dead? Alright, never mind, go. Well, Vince, Vince really liked those things.
Yeah.
There's 5 left.
Yes, sir.
I only took out the dead ones. Anyway, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Motion is second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a signature and date on that, please? I got lost ball and high weeds today. Today's the 14th.
Did you put Brian for the motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it don't matter.
I don't think we can motion minutes. We can't motion minutes, we weren't here for.
Oh, I don't know, nobody said anything, I just kinda jumped in there.
Alright, next on the agenda is going to be presentations for the O&M report for the month of March. Section 1, nothing really new in there. We've had another project meeting with Nathan, Mitchell and Stark and myself on the project we got going on right now. The current project, and then we also have discussed a few things about the roofing project that's getting ready to kick off as well. Operational highlights on the chart there, just quick like I always do. 61% on flow, 98.1 on BOD removal, 95.9 on TSS. Ammonia we were at 89.8, and phosphorus 88.3. So plant was doing pretty good, has been doing really good, so hopefully it continues that. Section 2 is budget report. In your packets, we'll talk about it a little bit later on. I started to put together a 5-year draft capital plan to kind of give you guys an idea of what's out there and where we're at and what my goals would be. Again, we'll talk about that here later on in the agenda. You got a regular budget report Becky will give next. So, Section 3, management report. Safety and security, same. We just continue to evaluate, address things as they come up. Compliance reporting. We submitted February's MROs to IDEM, and they were violation free. Still haven't heard anything from the Ohio EPA on the sludge permit. Like I said, back the month prior to this, they still pick the sludge up, so I'm assuming there's not any. No news is good news. Also submitted the annual pretreatment report, and I submitted our annual wet test results. We ran that test back in November, but the results weren't due till March, so I didn't report them till they were due. Just kind of so you all know, we have to run that one time a year prior to the expiration of our permit, which is March 1st. So as long as it's done between March 1st or February 28th and March 1st, we're good. So we typically do that in the month of November-ish, sometime around then. Maintenance report, kind of a list there. Maintenance issues to discuss. I did not add anything to that this month. After I sent this out, we had a water line bust that was overhead in the press room, and that caused all kinds of problems that I am working to address now. Not just water line busted, flooded out a cabinet. There's electricals, like it's a mess that I'm almost got fixed, so, we're working on that.
Wasn't that a new water line? What give there? Did they not anchor it right, or what, how's this?
As of right now, all the anchors are, so what happened basically is they used what I'm assuming they call Sammys. I don't know if you guys know what them are. They screw into like wood and then you put all thread into them. They have sheared off and the water line fell, which broke. So we had 3-inch water line blowing water for about 45 minutes into a room under well pressure.
Oh, Lord.
So it got into the conveyor panel in the sludge room and took out some stuff. It's not as bad as I expected it to be. We were able to get it dried out pretty quick. Most of everything still works. It's about 10,000, roughly between 8 and 10,000 right now on parts that I have to put back into it.
And it's nothing that's warranty.
No.
Wow.
Well, it's because it's, I mean, it's the water leak. I mean, it's not like it.
Right,
was
right. Well, I was wondering if it was
I
part
mean,
of the installation of it.
I am trying to find the actual reason. I've been in the attic, taking some pictures. I mean, I'm trying to figure out why this water line, because this has been, if you read through the last 2 months worth of maintenance report, you'll see where we've reattached the water line to the ceiling a couple different times. So, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where the flaw is and what happened. So what we're doing now is we're replacing every anchor on that water line to the way you and I did it when we did the copper line in there.
Yeah, I was gonna
Up
say.
in the attic, we're,
Tied to the trusses or something, yeah.
Trusses and all threading down, so, yeah, so if I can find the smoking gun, I'm going to, suggest that we contact Bowen about it and, try to pursue something on damages for that, but as of right now, I'm not seeing anything other than those things shearing off for some reason, so.
I'm just seeing a lot of things that are coming around, man. I'm like, you got here, if I can real quick, you got number 2 recirculating pump, sounds like a bad bearing. What recirculating pump is that? Is that one of the new ones in the digester?
That is the sludge recirculation pump for the heating circuit of the digester, and I am working with S&K on solutions for that because this has been an ongoing issue from the beginning. I just sent it back in for examination of what is causing the failure. And then I sent one to S&K and I got one going to a different shop to see if prove one shop wrong versus the other, but, yeah, so I am working with them on that. We're still also working through the, number 1 final pump in the lift station.
Yeah, that was another one I got on my
That's been
list.
an ongoing issue from the
I
beginning.
mean, I actually have a list of things that
All
we've
right.
discussed, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how is this when we just got it? You know, like that, your thickening pump said a small leak, is that a new thickening pump, you know what I mean?
Yes, that is,
And the press
CPAC.
panel stopped working, the west blowers are kicking out. The auger on the grit system, that auger is brand new.
I mean, it's the auger on the grit system, not the new one that just got put in, that was the,
Yeah, but we put the new auger that, if it's the auger that distributes it, puts it in the Rumpke container.
yeah, that's the classifier, it's like it's on its 4 years, but yeah, you're right.
So it is
yeah.
4 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it is 4 years, only 4 years old.
Is it a non-greasable motor, or?
It's the oil, like, it's the same gearbox that was in there, like, back when you were there.
Yep, so it's more the gearbox than it was the.
Yeah, it was the gearbox.
Yeah, it does say
itself,
gearbox.
The bearing.
It's just a little discouraging when I look at all that, like the lift station, the valve in the digester building, the polymer pump quit working, the scrubbers aren't working, you know, I mean, it's like, I keep looking at this and I'm like, we just spent a lot of money on that plant, and I'm keeping track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a little discouraging.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, I'm addressing the issues as they come up, I'm just.
Right, I get it, I get it.
You know.
It almost
I
feels
will
like.
say right now, and I'll say it publicly on the record, I would not use Bowen Engineering again to do a
Yeah.
project. If you all were looking at any projects, I mean, that's my recommendation. they washed their hands of this project before it was even finished.
It almost feels like I just bought a used car, and as soon as I pulled off the lot, as soon as you see the taillights dissipate, the warranty's done.
That's what we got. We got the taillight warranty.
Yeah, it's just, man, I'm like, how is the instrument and the controls working? Like for the sensors for the aeration, are they doing good?
Oh, yeah,
They do the
aeration.
TSSs and
Yeah, all
DOs.
of that part of the system's working
Good.
pretty well. It's keeping, I mean, just something you'll understand. I mean, we haven't had to run chlorine on the west plant since December of last year.
Again, I say it's just a little discouraging, man, and I'm somewhat keeping track. I'm like, man, this is just not good. All right.
I disagree with you. So, but like I said, as this stuff comes up, I'm trying to make contact and get things corrected, force hands, and Nathan's been helping me a little bit trying to facilitate communications and work through the issues, so, you know, I don't know what else I can do other than
Right.
trying to keep everything moving, so. But, so
And that-
that's not on this O&M report because it was after I got this finished that all happened, so,
And they still haven't figured anything out on the scrubbers to where they're, because the one is in the pre-treat screening room, so you're gonna have to keep the doors open all the time there if they're going in and out.
they're actually coming on and going back off now, which is new, so they are working periodically, but yeah, that's in, HPT's court right now to be getting somebody down here. Our rep is Discount Dean, so, I mean, it's a system that we can't really, you know, I mean, it's high voltage stuff, like, we don't really know
Right.
enough about it to get in there and really fiddle around, so we need the company to come down and at least explain to us why, so. But yeah, they are periodically working on and off for some reason, so. And then, next is just the training report. I just kinda wanted to inform the board that we had one of our operators, Devin Johnson, he has passed his Class 2 test here recently, and he is now a licensed Class 2 operator, so.
Kudos to him.
It is pushing the guys to, and I got two more operators that wanna take the training class to become certified, and that'll be in July sometime.
How long's he been with us?
Devin's been there 6 years. He started right when I started as super, so 6 years ago.
Good.
Has the new guy showed interest in taking the test?
He
Good.
wants to take the training class that should be offered in July, and him and another operator. So. And then I got, Devin wants to keep going, and then I got a couple more that want to try for their too. So.
Nice.
I don't know if it was the incentive that was granted or what it was, but they're showing a little more interest. I like to think my meetings and talks and all of that, trying to get people involved is helping, but who knows? But I did want to share that with the board. We did have a guy who passed his Class 2, so, and the other guys are all interested. So. I will field any questions on the O&M report that might be out there. No questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the O&M report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
First, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Next on the agenda is going to be the district financial report. I'll hand that over to Becky.
Okay, I used the proposed budget to do the comparisons. We're about 25,000 behind on revenue, which is much better than last year. We're also below on expenses, mostly UV maintenance, not spent yet in 2026, and no usage of the other services in the outside services category. We're a little over budget on variable costs. It's mostly in the treatment chemicals because we did that bulk purchase in January. Everything else looks good. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions for Becky on the financial report she gave? Hearing no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve that financial report as given.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we'll pay some bills. I would like to pay the monthly bills first. I'll entertain a motion to pay the monthly bills. Becky, you got a lot of post-its. Is this things I screwed up?
No. Need copies of a couple of things.
Keep an eye on him, Becky.
Hold on, I need to read these before I motion to approve them. I'm sorry. Oh, that's that one receipt, yeah. It's a $9 one, I gotta dig it out.
Yeah, I think the payroll one was just missed a signature.
I did, okay. Yeah, nothing super major. I'll entertain a motion to pay the, monthly bills as presented.
So moved.
Second.
First, I got second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, thank you. I'll hand that just down the line, we'll come back around. Give that just a second to work its way through.
So Chris, so I know how you feel about Bowen. Do you think we'll have better support with our new engineering company?
We're gonna need 4 tandem loads of gravel.
I've not had, Nathan's had some experience working with Mitchell and Stark. This will be the first time I've worked with them. So far, I would say the communication and stuff has been better than what we had in the first one.
Okay.
And I don't know, I mean, I kinda dogged Bowen, but, I mean, we did kinda get their G crew, it wasn't even like the good crews, you know, we had cycled through so many different superintendents, and then halfway through the project, we lost our superintendent, and we had 2 kids out of college who really didn't know what they were doing, pretty much running the work via phone calls and stuff. You know, and then I did the best I could to try to keep track of everything that was going on, but, so, I mean, to answer your question, the long and short of it is so far, the communication and stuff's been better.
Okay.
Nathan, you've worked with them on a couple different projects, what do you think?
Mitchell and Stark Construction's, they're a little bit smaller than Bowen, a lot less, I'm gonna say this nicely, a lot less corporate, more, you know, homegrown Indiana
Right.
workers, so they've, you know, they have been more responsive in our experiences with prior projects at prior towns,
Good.
especially after the project's done and they, you know, sort of.
Where it matters.
They don't just go away to Indianapolis, they're, you know,
Right.
they're around, they're Southern Indiana-based company.
So, I have hopes that, yeah.
It'll be
I
better.
mean, the good thing about this one is it's not gonna be a 3-year project, and it's not touching every single piece of equipment that I have, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, hindsight being 20/20, there's things I would've done different, things I would've changed, but unfortunately in life, you don't get that option, so you deal with what you got and move forward. So, all right, now that those are back, we have 2 project vouchers, one for CDS Engineering for, construction administration cost. And when this goes around, there's duplicate, it's the same invoice, but it's just one, so, we did that, but we did fix it. So that one's $5,000 for the, construction administration cost, and then we have one for, Mitchell and Stark. And
That's
it
the
is-
big one.
It is for, it's easier to read this page. It's for $478,189.40. you guys are okay with it, I'd like to approve those as a package, as just project vouchers. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the two project vouchers we have. One in the total of $478,189.40 to Mitchell and Stark, and one for CDS Engineering for project administration for the amount of $5,000.
The Mitchell and Stark, that was the one where we're doing a lot of the east plant work.
Yeah, the Mitchell
Yeah.
and Stark is the current.
When I read
project.
through that, that's what I
Yeah,
pictured it as.
that'll be
Okay.
the blowers.
I'm sorry, Robert, I
Oh,
didn't
you're
cut
right.
you off.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion.
Second.
Got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. You guys can count for me. Thank you.
Did Sean sign those?
I think he did.
I know he signed this thing.
I know he signed the check.
On the back of that right now.
Give that just a second to cycle through, and then we'll go on.
Thank you, sir.
All right, wow, that's almost done. We'll move on to the unfinished business. And first on that's going to be the 2025 wastewater treatment plant improvements, Project B. Engineering and construction report. I'll let Nathan have a little talk about that if you want.
Yeah, we'll talk briefly about it. As we said in last month's meeting, the end of March, first part of April's been a very active time for Mitchell and Stark as all the equipment's been shipped and delivered. It's on site as well. You probably noticed driving by the plant, there's a lot of saw cutting that's break. We removed those flashing in front of the building. I believe all of the holes for the blowers and the ventilation systems have been cut into that building. So as that step sort of wraps up, we'll start to see some of the old blowers come out of that room and the new blowers get installed. I would expect that to take the majority of April, to work through those pieces and parts, and then as we move into May, we'll start to see those pieces of equipment come online.
So they're putting doors in the front, I'll call it the north side towards 50. What are they doing on the east side of the wall? Is that like the air intake or something, or
Yeah, it's air intake, instead of,
roof-topping it?
so the new blowers, yeah, instead of piping the intakes to the roof and having, filters mounted on the roof, it's taking in room and air. So we had to cut those louvers to allow them to hold enough air, both for cooling and for the process through those louver openings.
So they will not protrude out so far that a semi come in there and take them off by chance, will they?
No, it
Okay.
should just be louvers like on the rest
Gotcha.
of the building.
Yeah.
So it won't be similar to what the west plant where we had them sticking out?
This will
Okay.
be,
Correct.
so these
Gotcha.
blowers will work, since you've been in and seen it a few times, these blowers will work exactly like the Holden tank blowers.
Yep, I got you, okay.
Room air in instead of pulling it from the outside. So we had to create more cross ventilation just so that there's enough air in the room.
I'm following you.
So, and those things are massive. They're big.
So are we gonna take air from the west plant and feed the east side while we're doing that?
No, we're actually gonna be able to keep
One blower
one
in?
blower on the east plant running at all times, so we're only replacing 2 of the 3 old ones. Just sheer space. So as soon as you walk in that east plant door there, that's at road level, or 2 feet off the road level, that blower right there will stay the center one, and the one closest to the mechanical room will be the 2 that get replaced. So.
Any other questions?
They're still working on saw cutting too. longer than they thought, so we'll do that again today.
Can't figure out what he's doing with the plaques when you're done.
The plaques will get mounted back up, probably be either kind of a on top of each other type setup in the one spot where we won't have a door, or they'll come to the east side of the building and be mounted as you drive past them. Wherever we can fit them.
Yeah.
And if that don't work, we can move them back to the admin building if we have to. I don't wanna lose the plaques, cause, I mean, there were some big accomplishments on this,
Yeah.
so. We'll
Yeah,
figure
they
out
work.
where they can go. We will probably lose the sign from 1971 that's on the building that's falling apart. You'll notice in my capital budget, it talks about new signage for the plant, but I do plan on trying to get the plaques put back up, maybe even clean them up a little bit before we get them put up. Just gotta figure out where they fit. So. Is there any questions for Nathan or myself on the project that is going on, Project B? Hearing none, I'll talk just kind of about the roofing project, and I actually forgot. So Pat, I need a signature on a contract from KBR Roofing that I forgot to bring with me. So if you could stop by my office and sign those, that would be great. Today, or preferably today, because that's what's holding them up. They're ready to come do some work, and I missed it. I asked them if there's anything I needed to do with them, and they kind of told me no, and then come to find out there was a signature page in there that I did not know was in there. So, I do have that needs to be signed, and then that project should be kicking off as well, so it'll be running concurrent with the current project, separate in the aspect of where the monies comes from to pay for it, but running concurrent at the same time. So I don't really have like a huge update on that, but just wanted to put that out there that I need to get those signatures on that contract page. So I guess that covered B for roof and software replacement. So unfinished business numbers, or letter C is going to be the draft budget that was presented and tabled at the last meeting. Are we ready to have any discussion on that, or where are we at as a board? Crickets. We don't have any discussion. Is there a motion to approve it?
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and kick this thing around, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I tried going over that and I got lost in the weeds like a ball. And I'm sure that you guys put this together and you used some common sense, I'm sure, and
We actually did better this year than we've done previous years by using I think we did 5-year like overlay to come up with current numbers versus what we used to do was just year over year. Because if you remember in our last budget, our revenues were substantially off by doing it year over year, so we tried to go back, which the way, and I'm glad they are, you know, but the way like MGP's doing what they're doing as far as productions, and, you know, as everybody's starting to get better, that is probably the hardest part, to project your revenues in a budget where everybody's trying to improve and lower their expenses. So we decided to do a multiple year layover on that and come up with those numbers.
the thing too is when we set this budget too, you're gonna be bringing some of this stuff to us as the years go on anyways for approval, correct?
As far as,
I'm like, did you have like trucks in here and things like that?
no, they'll be in the capital budget.
Okay, so that's in the capital. I
Yeah.
knew I've seen it in one of these.
Yeah, it's in the capital budget. The regular budget's just basically operations, so it's covering the stuff that she talks about in her financial report.
Payroll and
and
things like
payroll
that,
and
okay.
All of that.
I tried printing this out at the city building and I could not do it, man.
It's
To where I
very
could
hard to
follow
print
it.
out because it's so many
I
pages.
cannot
and
follow
it's
it. I'll be quite
giant
honest with you.
Excel
I'll be the
format,
first to
but
admit it. So,
If I'm correct, and maybe Becky can speak a little close, I mean, our budget from year over year over year over year has not been too far off. It's not like we're 15–20% increases every year. It's, I mean, we pretty much stayed almost on top of the year before with some small increases here and there, minus the 1 year when we took on the SRF bond payments that we have to make. We had to account for those, but other than that, we've been pretty much on top of each other. I try to control the cost the best I can on things throughout the year. I mean, we don't just approve this and then it sits in a file. I kind of look at it, base what we can order and when we can order it off of what monies is there, so.
all right, with that being said, then, if you're done, I'll make a motion to accept the budget.
Second.
Got a motion to approve the budget, got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then that's for this year, right? So maybe at the end of this year, we have a budget for next year or next year.
It happens like this all the time, doesn't it?
And I don't mean that in a mean way.
No,
But we should get back on cycle if we can.
yeah,
I don't disagree.
I agree.
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, who was the second on that?
Me, Vince.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is gonna be the draft capital budget that I've kind of put together. I'll open for discussion on that if there's any. I'm sure there's gonna be questions on some of it.
Yeah, one of the questions I saw on 23rd E, you wanted a new skid steer. Do you have one now?
No,
No.
we do not have any equipment to do any type of site work or on our own.
So you're willing to wait 4 years, or, I guess I was,
Yeah, I kind of was, because it's more, with everything that's been put in the ground, I mean, I shouldn't say this based on what we just discussed as far as project goes, but I mean, all of that stuff's pretty much newer piping, so I wasn't expecting, I mean, the only thing we really have to like dig up and work on is going to be like the yard hydrants. Other than that, most of the other piping has been replaced or abandoned and moved to a different spot, so I didn't see where it would be something that we're going to use right away to throw it in early into that, but and whether we ever make that move or not is still yet to be determined. I mean, it's going to depend on how much we do. I mean, how much we're going to need it. I don't want to buy something just to say we have it.
Right.
yeah.
I want to be able to take care of the things that we have to take care of, so it's just one of those things that's like, oh, well, this is something we either have to rent or we have to contract out all the time, so let's try to see if we can get it to fit in there anywhere.
The other question I had was, do you, looking at these mowers, do you have to do you mow the slope?
We mow pretty much everything because our tractor is no longer in service. So what we used to bush hog is now being mowed, and that's, 3 years ago, the Conservancy donated us a diesel mower that they were getting rid of, and it proved to be pretty valuable to us to be able to have both mowers running now that we don't have any way to bush hog all the extra property that we have. So we've been mowing that, as you guys can probably see as you go by. The field
Yeah, it looks nice.
expanded quite a bit, and
So you're mowing the flatland with mowers, not doing push
I have
hog?
no other equipment.
What's wrong with the tractor? Steering?
Won't steer, decides when it wants to start. Sometimes it runs. It's kind of like a still.
Sounds like
It's not
you need a
massive
mechanic
race.
down there, buddy.
If you
Well,
want,
if you
No, I'm not
remember right, we
interested.
took that tractor apart
I
about
remember that.
15 years ago and put it on backwards, so then it tried to fold itself
Woods
in
did
half.
in Versailles, yes. Put the pumpkin gear in backwards, upside down.
do you wanna try to take it somewhere and get it fixed, or?
I honestly think it needs to go to the city at the next auction and be sold for whatever you can get out of it. That's my honest opinion.
We did buy it like 1995, I think.
It was probably right around the
When we
time
were
the
getting
plant
the feel
opened.
for the,
Yeah.
or 6 or 7 maybe, when we was getting the feel for addition to the plant.
Yeah, and then if you look at the mower quotes that I provided, I know that's on the agenda a little further down, but, I made a recommendation, and it's based off of what we have currently, and the mowers that we have currently, we bought one in 2008, and it run up till this year, and then that diesel one's probably the same age.
You know the hours on them? But ain't no
I
big
think
deal.
our 60-inch has like 2,000 and something hours on it, and I don't recall the diesel that we donated.
What are you running now?
Right now, we have, last year, let's use last year. Last year, we ran a 60-inch Kubota and a 72-inch Kubota. And then this year, we got the 60 inches. It's pretty much dead in the water. I don't want to go throwing a bunch of money at it to get it running. So we're running just the 72-inch right now that we just had to put not a bunch, but a new starter and some stuff to keep the deck rolling. So.
What's the quoted price of the new one?
I provided
Yeah.
5 quotes, 6 quotes, I don't remember. I know
The
we're.
one you recommended was like 40-some thousand, wasn't it?
The
For two of 'em?
recommendation was the 72 inches, 18,157, and the 60 inches, 12,379. And that's all from Zimmer.
Oh,
And
that's
they're
right,
the
it's
Kubotas
30.
that we currently have.
Are we tax exempt on that stuff?
Yes.
That Kubota, that ZD 1211 retails for 25 grand. That's a healthy savings.
So, like I said, I recommended the ones that we have, just because, I mean, we bought a mower in 2008. Tommy can vouch for how good we are with the equipment we use. I mean, we beat it up pretty good. It still ran up till this year, so.
Is that 60 inches a diesel too? Are they both diesels?
The 72 inches of diesel, yeah, they're both diesel this year.
No, that one, the first one we got was gasoline.
The first one we got was Kubota's first gas engine,
Yeah.
but this new one is actually a diesel as
But
well.
both the quotes from Zimmer are diesels.
Yes, for
Okay.
the Kubotas, yes.
Is there a particular reason why you wanted to go with diesel? Just asking.
Because realistically, the only gas thing that we have left that's not two-stroke is that gas mower, other than like a generator or something. So
Right.
it just made sense that we could eliminate some of that.
I didn't know if they were better or what, or.
They do have a little bit more, I don't know what you would call it in a mower. I don't know
Torque?
what you call it, torque, I guess.
And they have a better lifespan.
You
Yeah.
can run through some thicker stuff without it bogging down. It's got more balls.
Where'd we get our deal from? Where'd we get our deal from on our mower that they replace every 3 years?
That's twice.
That's great.
So-
That was probably a better word there.
Hey, Chris,
I
I
asked
know
Greg
that
where
this,
we got it from.
that water leak
Hopefully it
that
takes back.
we were hunting for, did we ever find that?
Is it in an email?
Our water usage is not really increased.
think
I've
it's
been
the same.
keeping an eye on it. At least once a month, I'll go and check prior to billing, I'll check their, what do they call that, what's that system you guys use for water usage?
Panels?
Analyst system.
Panelist. I'll check that based on like daily usage, and I'm not seeing, I mean, I still think we use more water than we should, but we went from like 500,000 gallons down to like 200,000 gallons, which I still don't think we use 200,000 gallons,
It's
but
a lot of water.
I'm not seeing what I was seeing when I was expecting a leak to be found.
I thought I missed it,
So,
Are you looking to get a mower approved now?
I was looking to,
Do we want to do this
I
draft?
I
budget
guess my
first?
first thing would be if I can get the capital budget
Yeah.
approved, then that pretty much tells me that you agree with what I'm looking to do, and then I could go and follow my normal spending policy moving forward once the budget's
And
approved.
Becky, I'm assuming that our history and projections allow us that level of capital without seeing,
Yes,
I know that, but,
yes.
Good
yes.
point, good point.
The first year is going to be a little tight, not tight to where it's like we're not spending more than we have, but it's, I mean, it looks, I mean, you look at that number and I have $1 million being spent the first year in capital, but a big chunk of that's coming from the roofs and the soffits and the little bit of carryover that we used to do the clarifier painting in this current project. So I just kind of want to point that out as like, it looks like there's a lot, but it's mainly 2 projects that we got going on coming out, as well as the stuff that I was trying to get done this year so that we could be ahead. And then this document, like I said,
just
this
read.
document's kind of a living document, so like if something goes wrong, I mean, you can rob Peter to pay Paul out here. But this just kind of gives you an idea, at least where my head is and what I see is the projections as of right now. I guess if I'm going, so I do have action requested, so I guess I would be looking for a motion to accept the budget, the capital budget as it was presented.
There's
Well, I was gonna wait till I got to the mower, but are any of your quotes from Dave's Mower Shop?
No.
Okay. Last year they offered Aurora, it was about 18 to 20 grand for a similar mower, but every 3 years for $2,000 they'll give you a new one. So we jumped all over that, just throwing it out there if it's something, I mean, you've done your due diligence, but if it's something you wanted to look at,
Dave's Mower Shop.
yeah, it's in Versailles. I think we paid 20 grand for a very nice mower, and every 3 years they give us a free one for, well, not free, but they replace it for like $2,000.
What's
And
the
then they
name?
take the old one.
What's the brand of the mower?
I think there's a variety that they offer for it. Just
So-
something to look at.
So as it stands now, you've got them from Zimmer, Randall, and Bad Boy? Is that what I'm seeing here?
The quotes, technically, there's a quote from Randall's shop, which is the old one out on 50.
Right.
And then Zimmer, but I had Zimmer quote different equipment. So you only have two quote-unquote
Okay.
shops. We checked out in Osgood to the guy that does the Bobcat dealing out there on 421, and he didn't really have anything that I would deem as commercial. So if there's another shop that I might have missed, but those are really the two players that are in this area that Zimmer pretty much bought out anything else that was around, so that's where we went. So technically, there's two shops and like 5 different mowers, styles, and brands that was quoted out. So, is there any other questions on the draft capital budget? Of anything that's in there or whatnot?
No, I'll make a motion to pass.
Second.
So I have a motion to accept the capital budget as presented. I got a second. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. So that concludes the unfinished business. We move on to the new business, which we just kind of had a discussion about. I did provide the mower quotes, and like I said, I guess thinking back with the draft budget approved, technically I just have to follow my normal spending policy at that point. But going into this meeting, I didn't have that approved, and it is grass cutting season, and I was looking to try to get mowers purchased. So we can discuss that any further. We can, whatever you guys want to do. So.
Well, I feel good going with your recommendation if that's what you're thinking.
I can look,
But if you want to
because
look
we
into it
didn't know
more.
about I mean, I can look into that and see, at the Dave's Mower Shop, you said?
I would just check it out, it's a heck of a deal.
I can look into that, because Kubota, I mean, it's where we got our other ones. It's not like they're going anywhere, so I can definitely look into the Dave's thing, see what that is, and then make a decision based on that, I guess, at that point, if there's something there that would fit our needs.
I mean, I personally would be a Bad Boy guy. I mean, you know, that's what I have. I mean, to me, pound for pound, I think the Bad Boy is equal or better than the Kubota, but I'm not the one running it, so I would,
Yeah.
if you and your guys want the Kubota, that's what I would go with.
There was two, like, the Skag was one that was like really good, but it has so many buttons and levers.
Electronics.
Just things
Yeah.
that I could just see people
Yep.
killing on it, so I kinda eliminated it. Cub Cadet was on there, it's just not,
I would stay
it's
with
not
it.
my cup of tea. And then I had them price these bad boys too, but, there was some things about the Bad Boy in what we're mowing versus like yards and flats and stuff like that, so that's kind of where I landed with the Kubota. Like in a field, and, you know, that you don't have rocks surfacing the size of Volkswagens. So, that's kind of where I landed, so, I mean, it's up to you guys, if you want me to pursue another option, if we want to make a motion, I mean, I laid out what I have prepared, I'll leave it up to you guys as far as what you want to do with that moving forward. I would like to have mowers, so that we can not get called by our code officer in Lawrenceburg and tell us that our grass needs.
I make a motion that you use your best judgment within your capital budget and get what you need.
Second.
I like that motion. I'm not gonna repeat it out, but yes, so I have a first and a second on that. Utilizing my best judgment based on the capital budget and current spending policy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I think. Public, do you wanna speak?
I need my data sheets for March.
I didn't send them to you yesterday when I sent out all the other billing sheets? Huh.
Not unless they got lost.
They'll get sent to you as soon as I get back from office, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I don't know how I forgot you. You're usually the first one I send out, but I'll get them out to you as soon as I get back. They're done. They're here. You want one to look at?
No.
Okay. All right, I'll get that out. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Any other public?
Well, I got something, Randy Turner, I don't know, I showed Brian, but he wasn't familiar with this. He sent me a text this morning, he's wanted me to ask, does anyone have contact info to allow us to access the trail behind Hardee's? He says we need to get our flushing machine back in there for a leaky air relief on a 16-inch force main. Would that be you, or?
Oh, you mean to get through that gate?
I guess, yeah.
I should, unless they've cut my lock off, I should have a lock. It's just a big chain of locks. There's probably 15 of them on there. I don't even think there's a chain anymore. I think it's just all locks that are just tied together, holding it shut. I should have a lock on there unless they've cut it off.
If not, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. If it's that thing, Austin Cook, he's got Mario's ring of keys.
Austin Cook,
Well, we might be able to get through that.
just tell him, would he have his number, I guess?
So they'll be going through that gate where they're capping the ash pond off, right? Is that
Yeah,
what
like
you're
they
saying?
were
Yeah.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah, they may have a guard or something in there too.
Do you, well, does he get ahold of Austin Cook then?
Well, if Chris has it,
Yeah, it's
I don't care.
sewer related, you
if
know?
tell Randy he can call Austin or
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, I can look. I'll send some guys over to check to see if our lock's still on
Do
there.
you want to just call Randy? You got his number, right?
I should have, yeah.
Alright,
If not, I can send him an email.
well, might want to call him.
Yeah. Good point.
But, yeah, they're, I should have a
Well,
lock,
Nancy will-
but I'm trying to think like.
I didn't think it started right there. I thought it all went all the way to the trail bridge on the Lawrenceburg side by the creek, and then it cut over into the fairground, or not fairgrounds, but the boat docks, and then went to the plant. So it runs somewhat down through that green, not where that gate is, and then it is
That's what I'm
on
thinking.
the
I
trail
don't have to
itself.
go back very far.
Yeah, I'd have to relook at that, but anyway, just, yeah, get them in there. Just don't blow nothing up.
Good advice.
Didn't they already drill your guys' 8-inch on US 50 in front of Wawa?
Yeah, they put a gas line right through the middle of it, and then called it a water leak.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Forgot to ask about that, didn't they?
I need to get back there anyway.
Really?
yeah.
I need to get back
We
there.
got a meeting here.
That's right.
Yeah, just give Randy a call if you would.
I'll look into it, I'll let you know.
I just
Everybody
didn't
feet
know he
frontage?
said-
That gets so fast.
I proposed 30.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn, got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's 290, it's almost 300 feet across.
I know, but the problem is.
Is Richard Mont still alive?